ever wake up from a nightmare and realize that it followed you home? That's basically A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. The movie where Freddy gets tired of haunting your dreams and moves into your skin like a demonic Airbnb guest. Poor Jesse just wanted to survive high school, but instead he's sweating through every shirt that he owns, while Freddy uses him like a murder puppet. It's sleazy, it's sweaty, and it feels like a horror movie that was shot inside a panic attack. This isn't just a nightmare, it's a full mental breakdown on VHS. Back in 1985, New Line Cinema said, "Heck, Freddy made us a ton of money. Let's bring him back immediately and figure out what the plot is later." What we got was Freddy's Revenge, the sequel that plays like a fever dream written by a guy who hadn't slept in like 3 days. The production was rushed. The script was weird, and the tone, well, let's just say nobody knew they were making one of the gayest horror movies of the decade. Freddy's not haunting dreams anymore. He's haunting your house, your body, and your questionable life choices. So go ahead and press play on A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. The movie kicks off 5 years after the events of the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie. The Walsh family has moved into a familiar little house on Elm Street, the same one Nancy Thompson used to live in. Everything seems normal at first, but their teenage son Jesse is having a rough time adjusting. He's sweating through nightmares, tossing in bed every night, and being haunted by a guy with knives for fingers. Yeah, Freddy Krueger is back, but this time, he's not waiting in dreams. He wants out. Jesse and his friend Lisa start poking around and end up finding Nancy's old diary hidden in his bedroom. The entries describe her nightmare in detail, and they're almost identical to what Jesse's been experiencing. That's when things at the Walsh house really start to spiral. Random fires break out, objects move on their own, and at one point, their pet birds literally explode in a puff of feathers. Freddy's presence is getting stronger, and Jesse's sanity is slipping. In his dreams, Freddy starts appearing more directly, taunting Jesse, telling him to kill for him, trying to use his body as the vessel to return to the real world. Jesse tries everything to stay awake. Caffeine, cold showers, you name it, but the nightmare keeps finding him. He starts wandering the streets late at night, completely lost, and ends up at a dive bar, where his gym teacher, Coach Schneider, just happens to be hanging out. Schneider catches him and drags him back to the school for punishment, making him run laps in the middle of the night. When Jesse hits the showers, Freddy finally takes over and kills the coach in one of the most bizarre, over-the-top deaths in the series. When Jesse wakes up, he's covered in blood, with Freddy's glove on his hand. Realizing the murder happened through him, the police find him wandering the streets, naked, totally dazed, and take him home. Things just keep getting worse. Lisa, who clearly cares about him, takes Jesse to Freddy's old boiler room factory, hoping to figure out what's happening, but the place is empty. Freddy's still inside Jesse, waiting for his chance. Later that night, Jesse shows up at Lisa's pool party, trying to act normal. He even makes out with her. But Freddy's power starts bubbling to the surface. Terrified, Jesse bolts to his friend Grady's house and confesses everything, even the murder. He begs Grady to keep watch while he sleeps. But of course, right as Grady's about to doze off, that's when Freddy literally claws his way out of Jesse's body and kills Grady in one of the most shocking transformation scenes of the 1980s. Jesse regains control long enough to flee back to Lisa's house. Horrified by what's happening, Lisa realizes that Jesse's fear is feeding Freddy. The more scared he gets, the stronger Freddy becomes. She tries to calm him down, but Freddy wins the tug of war and takes over again. Instead of killing Lisa, Freddy turns his rage on everyone else, crashing her pool party and turning it into a bloodbath. Flames burst, fences melt, and Freddy stalks the crowd, shouting, "You are all my children now." Pure nightmare chaos. Determined to save Jesse, Lisa tracks Freddy back to his old boiler room. She faces him head on, forcing herself not to be afraid, and pleads with Jesse to fight from within. She tells him she loves him, kisses Freddy right in his grotesque face, and somehow that emotional connection breaks the spell. Jesse pushes back, Freddy catches on fire, and the whole place erupts in flames. When the smoke clears, Jesse crawls out, alive and finally free. This movie closes with Jesse, Lisa, and their friend Carrie riding the bus to school like everything's fine. But then, Jesse notices the driver taking the same strange route from his first nightmare. The tension builds. Carrie says it's over, and right on cue, Freddy's glove bursts through her chest as the bus speeds off into the desert. Freddy laughs, the screen fades, and just like that, Elm Street's worst nightmare is far from over. A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, ladies and gentlemen. What a wild classic we've got here. Now, a lot of fans don't rank this one as their favorite entry into the Nightmare on Elm Street series. But for me, it holds a special place. I remember the first time I saw it. I was 8 years old, and my mom rented it for me. Yeah, that's right, 8 years old. My mom didn't fuck around. She let me rent horror movies before I could even ride a fucking bike. Welcome to my childhood. This one honestly freaked me out. It's darker, meaner, and it's just plain weird in the best way possible. It breaks out of the traditional Nightmare on Elm Street setup. Freddy's not just haunting dreams this time. He's trying to possess this poor kid and use him as a real-world killing machine. You gotta feel bad for the guy. Just a high school kid trying to survive biology class. And he ends up turning into Freddy Krueger. Rough week, right? And can we talk about Clu Gallagher playing the dad? Absolute legend. The man could read the fucking phone book to me and still be entertaining. The cast all around makes this one memorable. But the tone really sets it apart. It's fucking sweaty, and it's packed with energy. It's a movie that never lets up, in my opinion. The visuals are killer too. That opening school bus scene still hits hard, especially in 4K. And the transformation scene where Jesse turns into Freddy and kills Grady. Come on, dude. That one fucking rocks. And it's easily one of the most creative moments in the whole franchise. Now, yes, this movie is famous for its heavy gay undertones, and that's something that's become a celebrated part of its identity over the years. As a kid, I didn't pick up on any of that. I was too busy trying to cover my eyes every time I saw Freddy. But as an adult, it's cool to see how the LGBTQ+ community embraced this movie as their own. It's unique, bold, and different. And that's what horror should be. And then you got the legendary pool party scene. Freddy just crashes in like the world's worst lifeguard and shouts, "You are all my children now." One of the best lines in the franchise. So, to this day, 40 years later, Freddy's Revenge has aged into this weird cult classic that finally gets the respect it deserves. It's not just a sequel, it's a statement. It's fun, it's freaky, and it's full of that mid-80s charm that made horror movies feel fucking dangerous again. So here's to A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, the often misunderstood, over-the-top, and absolutely killer entry that reminds us why Freddy Krueger will always be the dream king of horror. So until next time, I'll see you at the video store.